In a surprising diplomatic pivot, US President Donald Trump has announced that he is considering a joint venture with Iran to protect ships passing through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. The proposal, revealed in an interview with ABC News, marks a significant departure from the administration's previous confrontational stance toward Tehran. Trump stated that such a partnership is the only viable way to restore the strait to a safe passage for international shipping. He noted that in the recent past, ships transiting the waterway have been attacked and burned, resulting in the loss of both vessels and crew members. Due to the absence of adequate safety measures, the area currently faces unacceptably high risks, the president explained. Legal experts sound the alarm, however. The proposal has drawn sharp criticism from maritime law experts, who argue that freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz is being systematically undermined. They view Trump's suggestion as a potential violation of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea UNCLOS, which governs international maritime behavior. Experts contend that what Trump is proposing could be interpreted as an attempt to seize control of the strait for private or bilateral use, a move that would violate core principles of international maritime law. Such an arrangement, they warn, would set a dangerous precedent and seriously undermine the rule of law governing the world's oceans. It is worth noting that the United States has not ratified UNCLOS, even though the treaty is widely regarded as customary international law. Nevertheless, legal scholars emphasize that all nations are expected to adhere to its principles, regardless of whether they are formal signatories. Iran's unilateral toll system. Context for Trump's proposal is Iran's recent declaration that it has assumed the role of exclusive administrator of the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran has announced that it will impose a transit fee and security charge of at least $2 million on every ship passing through the waterway. This unilateral action has drawn condemnation from numerous countries, many of which argue that Iran has no legal right to levy such fees. Iran, however, is not a signatory to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, though it remains a member of the United Nations Charter. India and France have been among the most vocal critics, warning that the Strait of Hormuz is an international waterway subject to international law, not the exclusive domain of any single nation. India has gone a step further, declaring that it will not tolerate Iran's actions. New Delhi has announced its intention to exercise its right to self-defense by deploying warships to protect Indian vessels transiting the strait. Indian officials have stated that they are prepared to confront the threat posed by Iranian warships if necessary. Many European countries have also taken measures in response to what they view as an unlawful seizure of an international passageway. Oman's refusal and Iran's regional diplomat Siren has attempted to bring Oman into its control scheme, given Oman's shared responsibility for the strait. Tehran has reportedly sought Omani cooperation in charging protection fees, but the Omani government has repeatedly rejected these overtures, dismissing numerous ideas and persuasions from Iranian officials. Despite these rejections, the critical development remains Trump's statement to ABC News. The United States is willing to negotiate with Iran over a joint venture to protect shipping, rather than confronting Iran militarily. This represents a dramatic shift from previous rhetoric. A history of hostility. Strait of Hormuz has been a flashpoint throughout the ongoing US-Israeli war with Iran, which began on February 28. During the conflict, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC effectively closed the strait, demanding that all ships obtain permission before passing and firing upon those that failed to do so. Numerous vessels, including a Thai flag ship, came under attack. The strategic importance of the strait cannot be overstated. It is a vital shipping lane, accounting for at least 20% of global maritime trade, supplying goods to markets across the Asia-Pacific region and Europe. Asian nations, in particular, rely heavily on the waterway. China and India, the two most populous countries in Asia, depend on the strait for approximately 80% of their oil imports. During the first week of the war, many Chinese and Indian ships transited the strait under the protection of US warships. However, by the third and fourth weeks of the conflict, 5 US warships had been nearly all shot down or disabled by Iranian fire. Since then, the strait has remained relatively calm, but only because Iran has asserted effective control. Iran's ability to launch missiles and torpedoes from a distance at any ship passing through the strait without IRGC consent has given Tehran a powerful deterrent. The Islamic Republic has the technical capability to strike vessels at will, and it has demonstrated that it is willing to do so. Iran's complaint to the UN Security Council. Iran has formally complained to the UN Security Council, accusing its enemies, including the United States and Israel, of attempting to seize control of the strait. However, the Security Council ultimately decided not to authorize military action against Iran to reclaim the waterway. This decision came after China and Russia voted against the use of force, arguing instead for a negotiated, diplomatic solution to the crisis. The United States had previously announced that if it decided to open the strait by force, it would not share benefits with non-participating nations. President Trump had stated that if the strait fell into American hands through military action, it would become the exclusive right of the United States. Trump's surprising pivot against this backdrop, Trump's revelation that he is now studying the possibility of a joint investment with Iran, essentially a business partnership to manage the strait, has shocked many nations. China, as the single largest user of the waterway, and India, the second largest, are watching with particular concern. Both countries are now wondering whether Iran will agree to such a compromise. Notably, just before Iran and the United States reached a recent 14-day ceasefire agreement, Iranian President Abbas Mousavi, referenced as Pesach in some reports, made a telling statement on Tuesday. He declared that while the Strait of Hormuz belongs to Iran, Tehran has the right to share control benefits with any country capable of jointly managing the waterway. However, President Mousavi later walked back his comments, stating that they were not official, but merely his personal opinion. He acknowledged that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps does not want the strait to be shared with any country, with the possible exception of nations that possess coastal territory along the strait, much like Iran itself. Iran has continued to lobby Oman for joint control, but Oman has consistently refused, citing violations of international law. What observers are saying? Political observers see a clear calculation behind Trump's announcement. They believe the president recognizes the immense economic benefits of securing the strait through cooperation rather than confrontation. It is this potential for mutual gain, they argue, that led Trump to accept the 14-day peace proposal brokered by multiple countries and to agree to direct negotiations with Iran. If the 14-day peace plan is fully implemented, it could potentially end the war. However, observers warn that the situation remains extremely precarious. Direct negotiations between the United States and Iran could easily break down, leading to a serious new conflict. Meanwhile, Israel is waiting in the wings, ready to launch fresh attacks on Iran the moment the ceasefire is violated. The next 2 weeks will determine whether this unprecedented diplomatic opening leads to lasting peace or collapses into even greater violence.